Hey guys, I cannot believe that April is about to end. It's time to do my, or maybe it's ended by the time I post this. But I wanted to share some of my favorite beauty products of the month. I do have one fail that I'm a little bit ticked off about. Before I get into that, I want to do some of the usual gratitude stuff that I've been trying to do more of this year. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Glad you are here. I am trying my best, at least in most videos, to start off with some notes of gratitude. So, the month of April is special in Virginia. We have some cool days still, but it starts to warm up, and we had some 70s and 80s days, which were just amazing. I love those first few days of spring where you can open the windows and get fresh air in. And we live with some woods behind us. And so sometimes we get wildlife back there, including owls. So I mentioned in a previous video that the frogs have started to croak in the creek behind us again. And I love that sound at night. It's like my most favorite, most peaceful evening noise. I'll add to that the sound of owls. So I will play a little footage of both the frogs croaking and a little bit of the owls hooting. Let me pause and do that. And one really special thing about the owls hooting is that I was actually able to see one. I usually just hear them and have a hard time spotting them in the trees unless they're flying off, and because they have this beautiful, really elegant wingspan. It's like woof, woof, woof. That sound of air being pushed under them. It's like so, I don't know, like majestic or something. Anyway, I was ending a meeting at work, and my husband came around the corner to my office and was like, "Come here." So we went out the back door and onto the back patio. And we were really, really quiet. And I could see two owls. They had flown or started to fly into another tree, and they'd seen us. Obviously, birds spot you long before you see them, right? And these are huge owls too. And it was so cool to look up in the tree and see the owl just turn around and stare right at me. It wasn't scary. It was actually like a one with nature kind of moment. I know that sounds really hokey, but that's what I felt. And so I was thinking, this is so beautiful, so majestic. And so there are a couple of owls, I don't know if it's the same ones, that have decided that our backyard is cool again. And we've been able to hear them hoot here and there on various days. And I love it. It's like I fall completely silent when I hear it, and I stop what I'm doing and I slowly creep over to open a window very slowly, because any loud noise or whatever, any sudden movement will scare them away. So you have to be really, really quiet about it and just be peaceful, be still, and listen. So I love that. I also wanted to share gratitude for safety equipment in cars. Woo! We are teaching our son to drive, and it's been an interesting experience. I got to give him credit. He has been a lot safer on the roads and more conscientious than I thought he would be. I find him to be a little bit impulsive at times, and I've been shocked that he's been super careful and very appreciative of the power of operating a motor vehicle that has the potential to do incredible harm and take lives. Like, I can't impress that upon him enough, and the importance of being a defensive instead of an offensive driver. And I am grateful that there is safety equipment, things like backup cameras. We have a car that has, my car has lights on the rear view mirrors where if somebody's in your blind spot, it's flashing to let you know not to switch lanes, that kind of thing. And it's been a joy as well as a terror to teach him how to drive. I mean, I remember when I first learned how to drive and how difficult it was to know, stopping distance, when to start braking, when you're braking too hard, when you're speeding versus going too slow, and all of that. We happen to live around some very, very windy, narrow roads where there is no shoulder. The road itself can barely hold you because it's so narrow. And, there's not a lot of margin or room for error or oversteering. And so it's very nerve wracking on those stretches to try to teach him how to drive, but he's been doing well, and I'm grateful for safety equipment, right lighting, all the little tools and gadgets on a car that help you understand where you are and what's around you. And I'm just grateful for that. And I'm grateful that being safe is a cool thing. I also want to say that I'm grateful, and I mentioned this before, but to still have a job. We went through another round of layoffs, and somehow I survived that. Those of us that stayed, it's interesting. It's almost like you have survivor's guilt, which feels silly because the people that you should be feeling bad for, of course, are the people that were laid off. However, you staying behind, you have like this, I don't know, it's a hard thing to describe, like this sense of guilt and obligation to like carry the torch and make it amazing because you got to stay behind. I've mentioned this before that I feel very blessed to work where I work with the people that I work. My point is that I'm grateful to be there and have the privilege of continuing to serve in the role that I serve. The kind of work that I do is public facing. It is public servant kind of work in some ways. And it feels like a privilege to be there. I do immensely miss the colleagues that left. I'm gonna get emotional. There are a few in particular that, like, I feel their absence. I feel their absence. They have an imprint on my life. They've made an imprint on my heart and soul. And I think about them. I've talked with some of them, and I hope that there's something really amazing out there for them in their next phase. So it's like a bittersweet thing to still be there and be able to be gainfully employed and enjoy the pleasures of life as a result. And at the same time, your heart breaks for those that had to move on and find something new. I'll just leave it at that. So let me get into these products. I thought about doing like a full on Sephora haul video because I had a ridiculous number of boxes. In the last video, I shared some of the goodies that had started to arrive, and the boxes just kept coming after that. I had the nerve to also order from Ulta because there were things at Ulta that weren't at Sephora. And then I went crazy and went on Banana Republic. They had a sale. I ordered this button down shirt and a bunch of other shirts and I might order some more, a bunch of other shirts that they had on sale. And I've been ordering more Sephora clothing too, mostly because the clothing that I had before, it's too big for me. So I have to order new clothing that fit this new body of mine. And can I just say, for the first time in a long, long, long portion of my adulthood, I was able to order a small. This is a Banana Republic small. I don't remember ever fitting into a Banana Republic small, and I'm here for it. I like it. The others were mediums and they fit great too. Anyway, it's been fun shopping for new clothing and seeing like what I fit into and what makes sense for my new body. Moving on to these goodies, let me start with the fail that I'm kind of irritated about. So, yes, I am a content creator and I'm fully aware that there's a lot of critique about content creators lying about things and this, that, and the other. I have a lot of mixed feelings about that whole critique, mostly because I know I'm being honest. And so I don't watch people that I feel like are dishonest or disingenuous or not genuinely enthusiastic about what they're talking about. And so I don't understand why other people don't do the same. Like, if you don't trust a content creator, why the heck are you watching their channel? It boggles my mind that people do that and criticize and whatever. So that said, I do watch people that I trust and who give me enjoyable recommendations that usually work out. However, this low number that I'm gonna talk about here, I just saw it like in ads, random ads, and I had FOMO and was susceptible to the influence. That said, I'm not saying that the people that this worked for weren't being truthful. I trust that it worked for them. It just didn't work for me. And that is the sleepy tie. So, I have had issues with volume in my hair. It's getting better, you all. I'm feeling like my hair is starting to thicken up. It's like I'm on the backside of like the hormonal and other body disruptions that happen when you lose weight. And I am using Rogaine on my hair, like I've talked about. And so I feel like it's growing in thicker. I even feel like it's a little thicker back here. So I've always been someone that had a big, thick head of hair and it was curly once upon a time. But lately, through perimenopause and now, y'all, I'm in full blown menopause. Should I cheer or cry? I'm not sure, but I'm in full blown menopause. The hair situation is different. Okay. I will say though, as a distracting comment, this is like what do you call it? A bird walk, dog walk, bird walk, tangent, whatever the heck the expression is. Since I have been on hormone replacement therapy, it's been, maybe like a year and a half-ish? No, like 14 months. That's not a year and a half. 14, I'm going into my 15th month. My hair has grown out quite a bit, and I'm seeing it be more curly now than it was in perimenopause. It's almost like going back to my youthful curly days. And it's not ringlet curls, it's more like a wavy, sometimes curl. Some waves and some curls altogether. Anyway, I'm seeing more of that, and I'm like, "That's interesting and promising and curious." So where I'm going with the sleepy tie is I saw a ton of ads where you're supposed to it's a device. Can you call it a device? A thing, a contraption, an item that is supposed to help your hair look like you have a full blowout in the morning. So the way that it works is you bring your hair into a super high ponytail, like all around, bring it into a high ponytail. You put this donut thing on your hair. Look at this. This is like some Princess Bride nonsense. With this part facing to the front, and then you take your ponytail and you loop it around the thing, right? And then you take this part, the scrunchie, figure eight it and put it over the entire thing. You know, I'm not doing it justice here. You can go watch the videos. The point being, it's like having a little, like a pineapple on your head, right? That same kind of concept, except it's in a bun. Well, I've tried this stupid thing now twice. This is the size medium. It comes in a large. I mean, friends, how much hair and how long does it have to be for this not to be enough? This is a medium. I probably should have gotten a small, but the small were sold out when I went to get this. Or were they? Or was I just being stubborn and thinking that I needed a medium? I don't remember. Anyway, point being, I tried this on hair that had not been styled, like where it air dried, and I try not to do that a lot. Like I like to go ahead and blow my hair out. I tried it on blown out hair, and it did absolutely nothing for me. Now, I refuse to try it with wet hair because you have to pull your hair pretty taut around these things, this donut here, for it to stay in place. And I'm not willing to do that with wet hair because wet hair is fragile, right? Have you used this? Do you know anybody in your life that uses this? I'm disappointed. And I'm like, am I supposed to put mousse in my hair or some hairspray or something before I twirl it around this thing? Help me out. What the heck am I doing wrong here? Because I would take it out in the morning and it would just drop back to exactly what you're looking at here. Like, is that the idea? It wasn't anything more. It didn't help or hurt. It just did nothing. And it's kind of heavy. By the time you wrap your hair into this whole thing, if you have longer hair, look at this, it's a little heavy on your head. The only advantage that I could see to this was that putting it up on my head allowed me to do my skincare at night and keep my hair off of the moisture on my face. Because I put like 3 layers of different serums and things on my face at night, heavy moisturizer. That was really the only advantage. So let me know what you think about this. This was a fail and I'm kind of irritated. I might be willing to try the small if you all tell me that it works. Otherwise, it's gotta go. All right, let's get into some other stuff. These are some items from the Sephora sale that I picked up. I want to start off with a foundation. This one has been raved and raved about. I believe this is the newer one, the Givenchy Prism Libre Glow Serum Foundation. Mine is in the color 4.5W or warm, and it's pretty warm. Let me do a little tiny swatch for you. Actually, it's a beautiful color. Look at that. That's actually perfect for me. What do I want to put a little bit on here? Yeah, it like blends in perfectly. So this is an awesome color for when I have some tan on, which I do. I did more tanning drops today. Beautiful. And it's very like almost full coverage, but natural looking. It sits down so nicely on your skin, doesn't settle into fine lines or creases. And it has a very second skin, but polished look. And I like that. So this one is a winner, this Givenchy foundation. Perfect color choice as well. And so, yay, like this a lot. I also found it to be pretty long wearing. The one thing I will say is that it does oxidize a tiny bit. So when you're picking out colors, if you want this, try to remember that it'll get a tiny bit, maybe more rusty or orange. That sounds dramatic, but like a hair, as it oxidizes and dries down. So this works out for me in that it looks a little bit more brown tone, caramelly tone rather on me, and it works. I have a couple of skincare things that I would highly recommend. One is, and it's more the category than this specific one, a milky face toner. So this one is from Ilia. First of all, I like this sort of frosted, simple bottle. I'm trying where possible to choose packaging. It doesn't happen in all cases, but packaging that is more simplistic, looking like this, that's pleasant to look at on my counter, rather than having 10,000 things that are lots of bright different colors. As you will see from the next few items, maybe I'm telling a lie. I don't know, but I'm drawn to this kind of thing. This is called the Base Face Milk Lightweight Moisturizer Barrier Renewal Complex. If that's not the longest name in the world, and it's a very milky consistency. What I like about this is it acts like a facial essence. It says toner, and honestly, I don't know if toner and essence, I think they are designed to do very different things. Like toners clarify, if I believe, whereas an essence sort of preps your skin to receive everything that's coming after it. And I feel like it acts like an essence. And I like that it's slightly moisturizing. You could use this as just your moisturizer alone if you don't like something heavy on your face. You do have to kind of drop it out. And it's got a fairly watery consistency, but it dries into your skin. It sinks into your skin so nicely and it dries down very lovely, light moisturizer, but enough, if you will, to be a nice base layer for other products on top. And so I have been enjoying putting this down first after I shower. and then going in with some kind of serum and then a moisturizer on top of that. Love this. Really, really good and worth every penny, in my opinion. You feel like a difference in your skin. Kind of hard to describe. Another skincare product, by the way, if I can link these down below, I will. If not, I'll just name them so you can go look at them yourself. Another skin product that I have really enjoyed, and I ended up ordering 3 of these because I loved it so much. Didn't expect to, bought it on a whim. Summer Fridays. This is the Jet Lag Sleep Hydration Serum. So I have had the jet lag mask that comes in a tube and you put it on your face. The idea is you're in a dry airplane and you put that on your face and it acts like a nice moisture barrier. So, you get off the plane all glowy. Okay. You can use that as just a regular moisturizer, even though it's marketed as like something you would use when you jet set. This little number here, wow, wow, the moisturizing properties of this. I don't know what the heck is in it. Does it tell you back here? I don't remember, but this is one that I have been using at night. So when I finish taking my makeup routine off, all the makeup, I go in with this first as like a base layer, a base serum. I've been using this lately. I have lots of different serums that I have loved, continue to use, but this is the latest sort of obsession for me. And it is so hydrating in this very sort of silky way and allows you to put other moisturizers or serums on top of it without disrupting this layer. You can use this alone. My husband has used this and his skin looks glorious in the morning. So good. So good that I bought 3. It's just the right consistency. Just a little bit. I don't even want to waste it because it's so good. So this is thicker, as you see, than the Ilia toner or whatever that's called, milky toner. But it's a little, it's thicker and more like emollient, if you will. A little bit thicker. Gosh, so good. And I feel like it's the perfect layer underneath everything else where you wake up looking glowy and amazing. And I think you can use this during the day. I choose to use it at night, but it's perfectly fine to use this as your base layer during the day before you put on your moisturizer and regular routine. Very hydrating, very silky feeling, really good. I do have some makeup products that I'll save here for the end of the lineup, but I've seen so many content creators talk about this. I have tried it myself and wasn't consistent, and I've been more consistent with it now. And I'm like, okay, we are officially friends. I don't like the way this looks on my counter, but it's worth it. This thing is huge. It's the Guru Nanda Whitening Mouthwash. And the way that this works, it has 2 separate barrels. You can see that they are, well, you can't see that here. I can stick my fingers between them. See, it's 2 separate barrels. One is mostly hydrogen peroxide, and the other is baking soda plus essential oils. And so the idea is that you use this as a mixing cap, and it has the 2 chambers separated. So you put a little bit out and you use it as a mouthwash. You swish it around, they activate together like baking soda and peroxide. You understand the science experiment there, right? And it says it gives you 3 times whiter teeth as quickly as 2 weeks. It has helped with my teeth. Ding! Oxyburst technology. It gives you fresher breath. This is in the flavor, I guess, wild mint. And it's minty. Here's the thing. I'm not a big mouthwash gal. I have shared before that I have something called geographic tongue. I'm gonna show you what that means in a second, but I have like ridges in my tongue. Let me show you. Huh? So spicy things get down in those ridges. I can't do like spicy food. I die. Not literally die, y'all. But I feel like I'm dying when I have spicy food. It affects me much more strongly than it does other people in my family. And then anything that has like mint or spearmint or any of those kind of active things that kind of cool your mouth, if I have too much of it, it gets in those crevices and it feels like it's burning. This does not burn. It's actually kind of soothing and it does leave you with the freshest breath, better than like Listerine or anything like that, which just smells like alcohol-y, like alcohol, rubbing alcohol in your mouth. This smells good. It's probably essential oils that make it smell good. I know it sounds weird to think essential oils in your mouth, but it just works and it's mint. It's mint. So this is a winner. Winner, winner chicken dinner. I got one for my son too. My husband has used this as well. I like it. A deodorant. Yes, we're going to talk about deodorant. So, I've gone through the Lumi deodorants. I really like the coconut. I forget what it's called, but the coconut scent of Lumi deodorant. I don't love the consistency so much. I have to get it in the solid form. The gel is a disaster. I don't like the feeling of like wet gel under my armpits. It makes me feel absolutely disgusting and I want to take a bath all over again. So I've used that. I am obsessed with the Cashmere Mist deodorant from Donna Karan. This is in the same packaging, so they probably use the same base components and just put it through a different manufacturing process to get what's in it. But this is from Salt and Stone. And this is the Bergamot and Hinoki scent. So these are at Sephora. Salt and Stone has body mists that are really quite nice for the spring, particularly Bergamot and Hinoki. Spring and summer, really, really great scent. There's a Santal and Vetiver one, if I'm not mistaken. There's a number of different scents. There's a new one, and I'm forgetting saffron and cedar, maybe. And I got that deodorant as well. Smells really good, kind of Baccarat 540-ish. But this one, Bergamot and Hinoki, is perfect here in the spring. It has a little bit of a citrusy scent to it. It does. You can see the wetness there. It does feel a tiny bit wet when it first goes on, and that's uncomfortable, but it dries down super quick, not like the gel ones that kind of stay sticky in your armpit. And it works well. It keeps me relatively fresh. Y'all, I'm that woman that, for hormone reasons or other reasons, I don't really know what the heck was going on. You know, for a long time, at the end of the day, I smell like I needed another shower. You know what I mean? So, less these days that I'm in full on menopause. My armpits are behaving, they're a little friendlier to me. But anyway, this Bergamot and Hinoki is a lovely spring scent without overpowering your body scents. You know, like some deodorants, you smell the deodorant more than the person. This is nice and gentle. Anyway, I like it and it works well. So Salt and Stone, that has been a winner. I have a few hair products to give a big up to before I get to the makeup, which is my favorite part. So I'll go quickly through these. I know people aren't that into hair products. This one is from Davines and it's called Liquid Spell. So I had forgotten about this product. I've used it before. The thing that I love the most about this, great smell. It's like marshmallow and shampoo combined. Great smell, and it is bodifying to your hair. It adds some volume, it thickens it up a little bit, but your hair is still manageable. And I'm needing that more and more these days with whatever is going on with my hair. So it looks like straight liquid in here, but when you pump it out, it pumps out like like a mousse. And you put it all throughout your hair and go through your regular styling, or put whatever products in there that you need as well. But Liquid Spell, it is definitely a little bit of a spell. Really like this. It smells fantastic. I finally found some dry shampoos that work. So I have two, but just consider this one product, one category of things that I want to share. I'll share some of the other ones that I've purchased in the Sephora sale later, but these two really stood out to me. One is, and who did I hear rave about this? Harush. Do you watch her channel? Hrush. Harush. Excellent makeup artist, quite hilarious. I think she works on the Kardashians. I'm not sure. But this is K18. Actually, excuse me, one of you mentioned this in my comments as well. So I give you credit, except I forget who it was that said it. Biomimetic hair science. It's called the Airwash Dry Shampoo. The way that this thing works is spectacular. I've never seen a dry shampoo like this. When Harush raved about it, I was like, here we go. I'll try it anyway. And then I was like, oh my gosh, she was telling the right actual truth and all of the details. You kind of lift your hair up, lift up a piece and you spray just a little bit, just one spray. You can start with one spray. That's what it says on the bottle. You can do two or three later, but start with one spray, move along your hair, kind of get in between your parts there. Give it a second to set and then you do like the massaging in and it gives it such a dry feeling. So other dry shampoos, you can feel that your hair is then coated with something. This just feels like your hair is drier. Like the grease disappeared and your hair is suddenly freshly dry. Maybe a tad of, bit of stiffness, like ever so slight, but nothing distracting or off-putting. And it's like a miracle. This is like something crazy heavenly in a bottle. And I'm like, where did this come from? Who invented this? And where has it been all my life? No residue. I didn't feel any stickiness. I didn't see or feel any product. There are a lot of dry shampoos that say no visible residue. Bullshit. Yes, you do feel it in your hair. You do see it. It leaves behind like a residue that if you're up close on someone's hair, you can see it. I didn't see any residue with this. Now, mind you, I followed the directions and only sprayed once in each section, and that was it. And I had like fresh hair for 2 or 3 days after that, and that was on the second day that I was using this dry shampoo. I love you. I'm in love. The second dry shampoo that is really good, although I give K18 the ultimate props. I took a chance on this from Ulta, in the Ulta, like an Ulta sale. What the heck is it called? Laboratories Klorane. I don't know if that's the name or whatever. I don't even know what I purchased, but it looks like this. The thing I love about this is that it smells a little bit minty. I know it sounds weird to think about spraying your hair with something that smells minty versus shampoo-y, but it just works to freshen up your hair. This was another one that did not leave any visible residue behind. It goes on a slight bit white, but as it dries down and you work it in, that goes away. And it just worked and it felt really refreshing to my hair. Oh my gosh. Thank you, hair, for behaving. It felt really refreshing and amazing. So I recommend this one, the K18 first and foremost, followed by this one. So the last hair thing, and then I have a coffee to recommend. I forgot about that. I have a coffee to recommend. is this is also for hair, and it's these clips. Now, if you have short hair, this isn't gonna mean anything, but if you have hair that you're constantly trying to get out of your face, these claw clips, I don't remember if I got them on Amazon. No, that's a lie. I got them off of some other retail site and like I added it to cart for free shipping and they ended up working out. So I'll see if I can try to find these exact clips for you. If not, the idea is that there's a claw here and a comb there. And what I love about these is that you can take your entire head of hair, twist it, and just stick it through, with that in the base and then the claw holding on to the top of the bun or whatever. As messy as you want, and it holds. Because my hair had thinned out, using claw clips or even scrunchies and things like that, they would fall out of my hair. This keeps my hair on my head. I can put it at the base, I can put it in the middle, I can put it at the top, depending on how I'm trying to get my hair out of my face and how high up I need it to be. These are amazing and they freaking work and they keep your hair in place. They grip without hurting you. So, highly advise those. See if I can find the link for you. Let me talk about coffee real quick. I'm a K cup machine user. I know people have different opinions about those. I'm not getting into all that. I use K cups. I like them. They work for me. The problem is that it's not like freshly roasted coffee beans. That's my only issue, but it's convenient for me. My husband, he grinds his own coffee beans and he has like a whole fancy Italian espresso machine downstairs and all that. Me, I get up in the morning very early before anybody's up and I want to make my coffee right in my bedroom. So I have found one K cup coffee that is perfect for my individual taste. I like a lot of different kinds of coffee, but this is the Tully's coffee it's a Hawaiian blend. That's what it's called, a Hawaiian blend, medium roast. And I find that it is just robust enough for my taste without getting too dark. And it's not blonde, like a blonde coffee that is a little watered down. Some people like that. I like a robust coffee, but I don't want it too strong. And I drink my coffee black, throw some Splenda in there, and that's what I do. I put iodine in my coffee too. Have we talked about that? I put a couple of drops of iodine to get my iodine in, and it works. My iodine levels are perfect. Anyway, are you interested in the iodine? I'll link it below. I'll link the iodine drops that I use. You have to put them straight in the coffee or you'll smell the iodine. Once you put it in the coffee, you can't smell it or taste it or whatever. Anyway, this is a nice, robust, very round coffee, just black. And that's why I like it. It's not bitter. I don't feel like I have to doctor up my coffee with a lot of stuff to enjoy it. It's a very enjoyable, smooth taste. I wish I could tell you what the nuances were. Like there are some coffees that have a more chocolatey nuance or some that smell and taste a little bit more nutty. I can tell you, I can just tell you that this feels perfect. Like it is the perfect blend of coffee. Love it. All right, on to the makeup. Now, I do have false eyelashes on just the outside part of my eye, so I can't show you what this looks like. I have fallen fully in love with a new mascara. And I like a lot of different kinds of mascara, and I'm always looking for new and different and interesting ones. This was from Lisa J. She had recommended a mascara I'd never heard of, the Smoky Eye Mascara from Bobbi Brown. Has anyone used this? How come I don't ever hear anybody talking about these? And so the Sephora sale was on, and I was like, let's add that to cart. Why not? Or did I get you from Ulta? Well, I think I've ordered backups from Ulta. I ordered from both because I now have two backups of these. I love the wand on this. Here you go. It's not hourglass or anything, but the way that this coats my eyelashes, it's like a dry formula, like the Pat McGrath Dark Star, if you have tried that. It's dry, but something about the way that this wand works, it lifts and separates my lashes. As I've gotten older, the corners of my lashes, they curl. They curl like up and in. And so they're a little unruly. And I have to sort of put them back in place with my mascara wand. And this is perfection. Perfection in a bottle. Dry, but wet enough to coat your lashes. And the wand separates beautifully. And I only really need one coat. Sometimes I do two, but you don't have to keep fussing. Like it just does the job. There is no fallout from this, no flaking, nothing. Fantastic. Love this. I have to give a shout out to the NARS Explicit Lipsticks again, but there's a particular one that I bought where the packaging was like, we were meant to be together. So this was also on sale at Ulta. This color is called Only Yours. Let me show you. Look at this. Look how pretty that is. Okay. With the raised up lettering in gold. This is what I'm wearing today. The color is called Only Yours. And it is this perfect nudie brownish color for me. Has a little bit of an undertone of peach, definitely a warm tone. And I like this explicit formula because It goes on so naturally. It's great for, like, a work day when you don't wanna have caked on lipstick. And if you want, like, a really long wearing lipstick, this isn't the one. Go for, like, one of the Gucci velvet formulas or something like that. This is one that you do need to reapply, but it's such a comfortable, hydrating formula, and I love the different shades that it comes in. This is what the regular packaging looks like in all black. It's not quite matte, it's got, like, a little bit of sheen, but it's not like a lacquered finish. This packaging, though, on the what are you called? Only Yours is exquisite to me. So lovely to hold. I did wanna share another color. I've talked about these in the past. They've been in my favorites videos. I probably have about 6 of these right now. They have a beautiful nude range. This one is called Liaison. Let me do it here. Liaison. Isn't that the prettiest pinky peach color and is beautiful? Let me put that in the middle. Nice nudie shade where you look like you have a little lipstick on, but you're not doing the most. But this packaging is so pretty, so to die for. Then the last thing that I wanted to share, oh, by the way, I should probably say with the lipstick that I have on today, I did try out the Kylie Cosmetics lip pencils. This is the Precision Pout Lip Liner in the color Saturn. So I don't even know if you can see that, but it's like, it's sort of a neutral brown. And so that is outlining my lips today. I like it. What I really wanted to talk about here, and of course I saved it to the end. Is anybody still here? Anybody still here? Drop me an eyeball down in the comments because that's what we're going to be talking about. Single eyeshadows. Why in the world have I fallen down the single eyeshadow rabbit hole? Does Veronica need another shadow? No, ma'am. No, sir. I've got shadows for several generations of people to wear. Several generations. They could put eyeshadow on their eyeballs every day for about 4 or 5 generations to come, and they will not run out. But here I am, okay? So we have talked about the Victoria Beckham eyeshadows, single shadows. They're called Lid Lusters, and I have it in the color Chiffon, which is like a champagne-y silvery color. I'm not gonna take these out because these aren't the ones I wanna talk about, but I wanted to show you Tea Rose, which is like a rosy metallic color. Mink, which is my absolute favorite taupey silver smoky color. And this one I don't love as much. Mirror, which is a pure silver, just because it's a little bit like intergalactic. So I love those, but I have ordered some more. I wanna talk about 2, I'm gonna talk about a bunch. 2 from Kofi. You have seen these, if you watch makeup channels, these have been hyped up all over. I have resisted because I'm like, I'm not a single shadow kinda gal. I like to have a palette. I want some variety in my eyeshadow. I want some light, I want some dark. I don't just want one option. I'm never gonna reach for that. All of that. Here we are. Here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10, 13 eyeshadows later and about another 6 on the way. God help me. These 2, I am gonna swatch these. I don't wanna get my shirt ruined, so let me roll up my sleeve. We're about to get serious. You know, when the sleeve gets rolled up, it's about to be on like Donkey Kong. All right, we got some arm space. Let's do this. The one that was super hyped is called Sona Sona. And like I have 3,476,983 gold shadows. Did I need more gold? I did not. And here we are. Look at this putty consistency. So I'm going to do a little swatch. It's all wet. I know that sounds gross, but it's, look at this. Look at this color. Oops, got it right there. So let's just use that. Oh my gosh. Oh, oh my gosh. I'm without words looking at that. Now you can shear this out. Let me see if I can get that effect. Yeah, if you just want like a wash, you can go really, look at that. I mean, it's just, I get it. I get now why everybody was raving about Sona Sona. I get why it was sold out. I don't even mind that it's freaking gold because it has a little bit of a brown warmth to it. It's not like just a pure gold. Oh, wow. And then I also got bronze brocade. Look at that color. If that isn't so beautiful, where the hell am I going to wear these? Just to do videos? Maybe date night with the husband. Maybe date night with the husband, and that's it. These are so juicy. Look at that. That is the bronze brocade. Am I saying that right? Brocade, brocade, brocade. I don't ever use that word. Very pretty. So you can, it's not quite as thick as Sona Sona. And then you can use a sheer version if you just want like a little bit of wash. Sparkly, arkly wash. I am in love. Do I wanna put that on? Let's do a little bit of bronze brocade, sorry. I promise I speak okay English. I actually won an English award in high school. Did I? Am I making that up? I won some award. I won, like, a spirit award, but I think I also got, like, an English enthusiasm award or something. I don't can is it doing anything? Are y'all seeing the magic? That's the bronze brocade. Mm, love it. It's like the color of copper and a penny combined, like a dirty penny and copper, clean copper. So then we have more. But wait, there's more. I also started. I started to explore. I started to explore Kiko Milano and got 3. I don't love the packaging of the first 2. I like the packaging of the third, but I like these colors. Oh gosh, of course they don't have the freaking colors on them. I'll put it on the screen. This one is '06. This one arrived with the pan falling out. Look at this. I gotta glue it back in. Ulta, but this is like a taupey, almost slightly purpley color. It's a little bit lighter. Let me do this here. There you go. Isn't that just lovely for an everyday look when you want a little bit of glam on your eye? But you don't want the full on Sona experience. You just want a little more subtle, classy. You want to keep it classy for work. That's gorgeous. Very easygoing, very subdued, subtle, classy. So that color is '06, and I'll put the name of it up on the screen. This is the color 15, and I think this is more like it's supposed to be like a coffee color. So sorry, let me put that in focus. I will swatch that next to the other one. I love the ridges and like the texture on that. It's very creative. Where did I put the other one? Oh, here. So that one is a little bit darker. I did wear those 2 together. I wore that one in the crease and this one on the eyelid. I did want something a little bit lighter, so I ended up putting, like, a little bit of highlighter or something on the inner corner just to not have a completely smoky dark look for work. You can wear either one of these. You can wear them just fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with either one for work alone or together. I just particularly wanted something a little bit lighter on the inner eyelid. And then here's the packaging that I really like. Now that's classy packaging. I like it. And this color is 200. I think this one is called Champagne. Is that not beautiful? So let's do this on the other hand. It's a bit of a drier formula. It doesn't have like the wetness of those Kofi ones. That's really nice. You could do this as an all over shade as well. You really could. And maybe put a little bit of bronzer in the crease if you just want some contrast. Like I have bronzer in my crease today. That's all I'm wearing. Did I put an eyeshadow on? What did I put on my eyes? It was one of these. Oh, I'm gonna show you in a minute what I put on my eyes. This is Champagne. So it's like pinky, goldy, and I love it. It has just the right amount of sparkle to give you some pizzazz without going crazy. Let me try to wipe some of this off. So then I did order an Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter Eyeshadow in the color Smoke. And I think I have another one on the way of Hourglass and then one on the way of Charlotte Tilbury, like their version of this. But let me just show you this one. This is called Smoke. I did wear this alone on one day of work. I wiped off the Kiko Milano one, but so that's supposed to be the champagne. This one is a little bit more silvery champagne and a little bit more sparkly arcly. And it's beautiful on its own. I actually just put it all over my eyelid and I put a little bit in the crease and then I used that smoky eye mascara, the smoky eye mascara from Bobbi Brown, and I was all set. I was cute. You couldn't tell me nothing. I have resisted these single eyeshadows because they're expensive, the Hourglass ones, and the Charlotte Tilbury. I think they're like 30 something dollars for an eyeshadow, but worth it, worth it. I mean, this lasted the entire day, the entire day. And then I'll end with showing you what's on my eyes today from ColourPop. This is their Super Shock Shadows. What I have on my eyes today is all 3 of these colors. I started with Deep Dive. So look at that. Look at that. It's got reflex. If you look in the pan, it's like almost bluish gray little reflex in there, but it's mostly like a bronzy, brown, bronzy color. So this is what's all over my eyelid today. That's the base. I love that, like a brown, bronzy goddess color. Love it. And then I also have a touch of this Ritz color, which is a little bit more cool tone. See how it has like some almost like greenish, bluish contrast in there? This one is sort of in the middle of my eyelid. It's a little bit more sheer and see-through than the color above it. And then I ended with a color called Lady Bird on the inner corner. That's what's giving the real sort of sparkle there. Maybe it's a little bit too much sparkle, but is it ever too much when you're filming for your folks on YouTube? This is like a champagne-y icy color. These are so smooth, almost like wet formula. So there you go. Those three are what's on my eyes today. So I can tell y'all I'm about to end up with like 20 of these dang single eyeshadows. I mean, what am I gonna do about storage? This is this is the problem. The problem for me is not that I get into things because I enjoy getting into things, exploring, collecting, having fun. You know, I'm not of this mindset that you can have too much of this or that you're hoarding makeup. I mean, I'm sick of all that. Enjoy whatever you want to enjoy. However much of it you want to enjoy and your budget allows. Like done with shaming people for buying makeup and hair products and stuff. It's silly to me. But where I'm going with it is how the heck am I going to store these? So I have figured out a bit of a system in my current makeup drawer where I can put it in between other things and that kind of works out. But the single shadow madness is on. It's like March Madness with basketball. It's April and May madness now about to be with these single eyeshadows. So that's it, friends. Well, that was a long video. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed these. I'm gonna try to link these all down below if you're interested in shopping through any of those. I will see you in the next video. Take care.